and it is pretty solid. Now, granted, it's not like
solid in the sense that you could put a dent in Cosmic's bowling ball skull.
Damn, why are you kind of strange?
You get thrown into this.
Cosmic sat here passively just enjoying the conversation.
A word.
Well,
This
I
guy
was
did
gonna
not
say,
speak a syllable.
No, I deserve it for accidentally being racist earlier, so it's
That's
fine.
true. Oh wow, look at him.
I love
He's bent
Cowboy
over
Beep
right
Bop.
now.
I kind of want to, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
I
the
got
25th anniversary collection thing. Yeah,
That's awesome. That's
Pretty
fucking
dope.
awesome.
pretty
You know,
dope.
my dad was on Netflix and he was like, "Hey, is this that Cowboy Beep Bop show you love?" And it was the live action one. I'm like,
Oh,
"No, Dad, that's not the one I like."
Every time somebody brings that up to me, and if they were like, "Oh, I don't think it was that bad," I recall to them the scene where this lady says to Jet Black, who's played by a black guy in that show, he's having a conversation with her, and he says, "This sounds like blackmail," and she says, "Oh yes, Jet,
This sounds like
it
Black
is,"
Man.
because
That's
hold on.
Oh, did I jump the
Because
punchline?
she-
My bad.
You did,
Okay,
but I'm
but
gonna
I
keep
got there,
going
right?
anyway. So yeah, you did.
You
so
should write for
she
Netflix
said-
shows, Nestani.
She says, he said, "Oh, this sounds like blackmail." He said, that's what he says. And she goes, "Oh, yes, Jet. And you are black and you are male." And then they keep going on with the scene like the world didn't just end, dude. Like some top class writing,
crazy.
some top class
That's
adaptation
really just
going
me,
on.
like stream of consciousness on like a Tuesday night. You know what I mean? That's all that is.
that is
It's
something
not
you
good.
would say.
It
That is something you would say.
That is something that would happen in the middle of one of my streams
Yeah.
randomly. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Cole, what are
Absolutely.
you going to show us? He's showing us his lamp. He's pulling his
Oh,
cock
that's
out.
cool.
That cool?
Oh, that's
Audio
the Cowboy
listeners.
Bebop guy.
Audio
Yeah,
listeners, it's
says
a
see you Space Cowboy at the
See
bottom.
Where Space Cowboy, yeah. Audio listeners, it's a light up.
Is that a home entertainment system?
Outline drawing
my
of Spike
stereo.
Spiegel from
I've-
Cowboy Bebop.
Sinatra in there.
Oh my god, he's got
wow.
a fucking shrine to Frank Sinatra.
What
a fucking
beer,
dork!
It's not a shrine. It's just
Yes, it is.
He
It's
has,
just
Nah,
it just
dude.
has the
he has
CD
his beer
propped up.
right
but
next to Frank Sinatra, as it should be, honestly.
he said
He's a
he said
10,
hold
but
my
he's
beer.
a-
So
It's
trying to-
mead. Oh, wow.
It's mead.
His mead and his
Yeah, it's
Frank
a
Sinatra and his
Michigan-made
fucking
mead. It's
Beatles.
John Lemon, dude.
Yeah, this guy's
Oh my
80
god!
years old.
It all keeps coming back.
Welcome back to the
I would
podcast,
love
everyone.
A
This
podcast
guy's
episode.
yeah,
where it's
well,
just
we're
my
here.
room. I love my
Oh,
room,
no.
dude. I still
Oh,
have to put stuff.
Welcome
in
back
my
to the podcast, everyone. We're gonna go on a Coley room tour right now, live on the podcast. My name is Nestani.
I am Jaxler.
I'm DECosmic.
Okay, and then
I'm Coley, and
there he goes.
I'm Coley, and I have I got this signed by Roger Craig Smith. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really
Sick.
cool.
He's the guy who voices Sonic. Not in the movies though,
I
which
just-
I'm very excited. The one piece of advertisement that's worked on me in the past 4 years, Sonic 3. Can't wait for that movie.
I just want to say that he went to the only item in his room that he has shown before on the podcast.
That's true.
Like, that's kind of criminal. No, like, am I the only one?
It's
that's,
he wanted to go for the repeat, man.
yeah.
Hold on, what else could I show? I don't know.
Dude,
we're all
this
doing
it
show
fell
and
apart
tell,
so quick.
here's
He
a
was
bear.
like, "Dude,
It is, yeah.
this is such a good idea. I should show things in my
very
room."
junior.
And then he's put on the spot, and he's like, "Wait, maybe it's not a good idea."
Picture of me with that guy from The Boys. I flipping off the camera with my friend.
Which guy from the boys?
Oh, the French.
It was the boy.
Yeah,
It was
oh,
one of the boys.
Frenchie.
Yeah,
Frenchie.
It was one of the boys
Yeah.
from the boys.
What
One
the
of them.
fuck is going on?
It was one of the black males from the boys.
Oh. Well, you know
Those guys that
I
got
don't know how
blackmailed.
appropriate
Yeah.
this is, but I have a.
And you're a black male.
You
got
are black
gifted-
and you are male.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I
We
got
have
gifted
another thing.
a bunch of cassettes, and I have a cassette that's called "Bill Cosby Talks to Kids About Drugs."
Oh, the irony.
Yeah, I know
All right. Yeah.
that's a valuable thing.
He said,
know,
don't,
everything else-
don't follow in my footsteps.
That's a valuable
what he
thing, he
said.
says.
Yeah.
It's not my Ignace.
That's what he had to teach them.
Yeah, he's like, hey guys, don't be like me. Actually,
Yeah, don't be like me. They're like, what do you mean? He's like,
iPod.
he's like, you'll hopefully never find out.
It's all scratched up.
wow, this is a great segment for the podcast. I'm so glad that we did this.
Oh, are we actually filming?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, we're recording. Yeah.
Are you
our
not
intro.
recording?
No, I am recording.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, really? I mean,
That was gonna be.
oh my god, we're just breaking the
something
fourth
else,
wall on the
dude.
podcast. Guys, my show and tell for today is Super Mario 64.
64.
Actually,
You've
I
already
know what my
shown.
show and tell is. I'm pissed, bro. Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how was your journey?
Order a fucking controller.
Oh, this shit. Yeah.
I order a fucking controller, and the description on eBay is, hey, do you want a nice tight stick and a clean N64 controller? And I'm like, why, yes, I would love a tight stick and a clean N64 controller. And said, this is what I get.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's bad, dude. It's
Dude,
bad.
every N64 controller is just horrible now.
Hold on. I did this last night for Cosmic, and I already forgot how I did it. Whatever. There's dirt all over the fucking thing.
There's dirt all up in that shit. Yeah.
It's horrendous.
I think
it's like
people who
absolutely
grew
a
up with
piece
the
of junk.
sad.
Just toss it on you like it's just actual
I'm returning
garbage.
it,
I think
so.
N64 players are just the most disgusting people on planet Earth. Every
I haven't
controller I've
said
ever
this.
seen in every controller I've seen in a store, it's just got some shit caked on
It's
it.
kind
It's
of
like
crazy,
yellow. What the
honestly.
fuck?
I think the craziest
Yeah.
thing is that my controller that we've had for like 20 years, by the way, is cleaner, and
cleaner.
it has a better stick than that.
Yeah.
Like
wonder if
I
that
plugged
was
that in
one-
just to be like, oh, maybe like they mean tight stick, like it's very responsive, like maybe like the looseness is like a thing. And then I push forward, and you know how like in Mario 64 where you like push forward and then Mario just starts running, just the normal running speed. When I pushed forward, I couldn't get up to running speed. That's how
It's so fucking criminal, dude. So fucking criminal.
And then I was like, cool. And so now I have bought another tight stick from a different seller. So hopefully this stick is nice and tight.
You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Don't they make like N64 controllers that are actually more like modern controllers?
Yeah, but I
I
want an
crazy?
OEM controller. Because the OEM N64s actually feel pretty decent. Like other than the stick, like the buttons themselves and everything else are actually like pretty nice.
I don't know
in
what
my opinion.
OEM means.
Original English manufacturer. It's not English, but it's the original manufacturer.
Okay, the OG.
Yeah.
Alright,
So
fair
like
enough. Yeah, I
like
get you.
for example, if you buy an OEM GameCube controller, you will have like, you know how if you buy like a $20 or $10 GameCube controller on eBay, and then it's just like a really clicky controller, and it's like clack, 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 clack. That's
Yeah,
not
I have
OEM.
one of those somewhere around here.
Yeah, but if you
They're
buy an
horrible.
OEM one, they're like actual like rubber that don't clack clack clack,
Yeah.
and they like are much more responsive and nice. That's
Sicko mode.
yeah, and so the reason I don't want to buy a third party Nintendo, because I don't want to go through the whole thing with the GameCubes where I'm like getting these super clicky buttons, and I'm like, I don't want that. And I also am not like I'm not like a fucking top level 64 player, so I don't need anything crazy. I just need a working controller. Just I would just like to have a new controller that I know works. That's it. I don't need none of this fucking hoary pads or steel sticks or whatever the fuck. I'm not nearly good enough to warrant any of that.
fair
I
enough.
can't even collect the second fucking red in Dark World without dying. So
Ouch.
Womp womp.
I haven't even made it to Womps, That's a lie. Dark World is after Womps. But yeah. Anyway, that's all. I just wanted to complain about that because I have to return it now, and at least I can return it though.
controllers-
At least I can return it. At least eBay
That's
says like
good.
you're allowed to return.
Yeah,
I'm like,
pretty-
cool, give me my money back. Yippee! But now
pretty
I still don't have a
fun.
controller
Yeah.
though. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. No, dude, controllers are a big deal though, man. You want to make sure that shit feels right. Like,
Facts.
I mean, back in the days when I slaved away at the Scoob, like I bought a third-party controller, and for some reason that shit removed diagonal movement speed cap. And,
I remember that. That was on
that was
Xbox.
some fucked up
yeah.
shit. Yep.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
I got
funny.
it right over there.
I remember
Yeah.
when I first picked up Lunistis, I had like this Xbox controller that I've used for like ever, because like I bought it like when I bought my first computer, so like in like 2018 is when I bought this controller. And so when I picked up Lunistis in 2023, I was like, oh yeah, cool. And I just like started using the controller or whatever. And then I remember I think I PB'd or something, and then I smashed my controller on the ground, and then I broke it. And then I bought a new controller. You know, that's just a regular Tuesday, everyone. And then I bought a new controller. And then I realized how fucking bad the stick was on my other controller, because I had so much more control like over my character. Like I could like move like I could like wiggle my fucking character, and before it was almost like I was playing like with a D-pad, where it was just like up right, up left, and like I didn't have like the little wiggle movements, which in Lunistis is very important to have little itty bitty wiggle movements, because you want to, you know,
precision.
Yeah, precision is very key because of how tight you have your lines to be. But regardless, I remember I bought that and I was like, holy shit. And then I was like, yeah. And then
wasn't it like a pink Xbox controller? I think I remember you sending a picture.
Yes.
Yep. There it is.
Is that the Power A one, or is that a different one?
It's
Power A.
I think I had the same one, but
they're good controllers, man. Yeah, those are good controllers. I actually have one as well.
Yep. Dude, I don't use the weird buttons on the back, but like
I don't have weird buttons on mine. I just have like the
buttons on the back.
I have like a $22 one or something that I got from Power A, and this is only wired as well. So
yeah, mine is also only wired. But so I started with the Power A controllers, and then basically when I play Lunistis, I replace this controller every month when I'm playing Lunistis. This is what I do.
Damn, it's bad.
It's because you have such repetitive movements on A and X because you're spin jumping, and so a lot of times I'm smacking that shit in order to get the, you know, and so they degrade really quickly. And I was like, oh, after like I think I was on my second controller or my third controller. It was after my second controller, and I was like, man, I need to get another controller again. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy the $60 OG Xbox controller, also pink, because pink's my favorite color. And then this shit died in a month too. It's still a good controller, but like it's just like a little mushy, and like on the A and the X, like they're just not as responsive, but it still works as good, so I still have it. But then I was just like, okay, well, if the $60 controller is going to last more than a month, I'm just going to keep buying the Power A's. And
keep buying the 20s, yeah.
I think this is my third one or my fourth one of these.
Jesus.
And that's only for 6 months of Lunistis, Smile.
Damn. That just reminds me of how I kept having to replace controllers for like DMC4, just because of how many fucking inputs are in that game all the fucking time. Yeah. Like the DS4s I had to keep replacing, and eventually I just had to learn the game on DualSense, because I guess DualSense can just take more punishment or something. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, fair enough.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
When I was playing the Otogi games,
I'm not gonna pull a Cole.
Well, in fairness here, okay, I like thought of this point as
did you not watch the clip?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, in fairness to you on this one, and I guess by extension, in fairness to Cole, I came up with this point like halfway through one of my sentences, so I wasn't even sure if I was going to say it or not. But when I was learning the Otogi when I was playing them casually, the Otogi games, I decided I didn't want to play on the OG Xbox controller. I was like, fuck that shit.
True.
So
good decision.
I got it when I got my converters and everything. I bought the Power A because I was like, well, it's going to be easier to deal with if it's just wired. Plus, it's going to cut down on the costs of actually setting this all up. And then I didn't end up needing my OG Xbox for the Otogi games because I fucking forgot that they were on Xbox One. So now I have an Xbox One, and I just hook that shit right into the Xbox One, and we're good to go. So hella dubs.
Yeah. Because that's what I ended up doing too, because like I spent $60 on like the original Xbox controller. That shit died in a month. And I'm like, well, I could buy 3 of these Power A controllers before I hit the one of the OG Xbox. So
Jesus.
So that's why I was just like, oh, I'll just keep just recycling the Power A's. And you know, it worked out. And it's really because like Lunistis is literally a 2-button game. So like you do not touch anything else other than the stick and the A and the X button. That's it. That's all. That's the whole game. There's nothing else to it, and so they just degrade so quick because you're just the same buttons, the same rhythm, all the time, which is why I think it runs out so quickly. Because like Scooby, for example, there's a lot more things going on in that game.
But it's spread
and,
out.
like, those, like, my controllers lasted for like 6 months, and the thing that degraded on those was the stick.
I never replaced a controller of mine ever. I never had to buy a new one.
That's crazy. I think if you did buy a new controller, it probably would have helped. Because those sticks get a little too loose, and then you know, but it also depends. Like if you like a really loose stick, then like that's fine. But like I don't like a tight stick. Like Mortal loves a really tight stick. Like Mortal loves tight sticks.
And it sounds like something Mortal would like.
Yeah, he likes the sticks very tight, and we both don't like loose controllers, but I like in the middle. Like it's not like I don't want it super tight, but just like a decent good amount of resistance, and then I feel like my controllers last for like after like the first week, I have like 4, 5, 6 months before like the stick is too loose for me, and so I think I only bought like 3. I think I bought 3 GameCube controllers for Scooby, and I've bought 3 for Lunistis. However, one I played for 2 years, and the other one I played for 6 months. Yippee!
The contrast. Yeah. Does anybody know if they, those like well, it's like on Cosmic Shelf, those fighting game controllers where you like lay it on your lap and then you have all the buttons. Do they make one where it's for GameCube?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because
they have the melee controllers.
Yeah, that's what the one clip
use
of
it in
Box
Melee?
Pikachu is about. Yeah, yeah, that's what that's about.
I don't want to be a fucking asshole, but then I lose to fucking Box Pikachu. Cheater!
I'm just because honestly, dude,
I'll have to insert the clip so the audio listeners know what we're talking about.
Controller
Dude.
would be good for Scoob.
These shits are cool. Yeah.
Oh well, I would obviously one with a stick, but you don't think that'd be good for Scoob?
No. Not a
Really?
hitbox.
That? No.
Not a hitbox. No, you
Not
have
a
Well,
you
not
have so
that
many.
specifically.
You
But
mean
like one
with
with a
like
stick, and then there were more buttons.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would work basically the same.
Because I know like Mortal like closet or whatever. So
No,
then you
Mortal's
can like,
also
be
Welsh,
more efficient at
so
dashing
his
and then
answer is invalid.
and dash into the. I don't know. I'm not gonna get one, but it's
Welsh
just
people are not
Sorry,
valid.
I'm
We
completely
discussed this.
derailed. Nobody,
you can,
literally nobody
but
asked
like
what I'm
it doesn't really matter because a stick is just a stick. Like the only thing that would be like quote
just
unquote
has
better is
cosmic.
just having Hall effect sensors, like so that you don't have to replace.
I'm
the
not even
controller
talking
like
about
every
the
6
stick
months.
though. I'm just talking about the buttons. Like you just have everything you need right at your fingertips, almost like a keyboard. And plus,
But
like
you do on the GameCube
I never had
controller. What are
hand
you
pain
talking
for
Yeah,
about?
buttons.
exactly. It's just a preference thing.
Yeah, you have it on
Yeah,
the
it
Game
can be a
controller as
preference
well.
thing.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Well, it's like when you hold a controller, like when you have to hold down the R button, and then you have to go from B to X or whatever to
Yeah.
enter the door and charge. But what if you just like had it so it's like this, so then you can just hold down R on one, press B with the other, and then just rapidly press X for this instead.
I will
I mean, I'm just
say-
being a hypothetical fuck.
Well, if we're going
Hey
hypothetical,
guys, I'm
I will
gonna
say
I'm gonna
something.
make him look really dumb really quickly. So what you do is that you just do this,
Yeah, I know, but that sucks. I hate that shit.
and you just do that,
That shit
and
is
then
so
you just
uncomfortable.
spam the Y button while you're
The
doing
other
this.
thing as
Yeah, I
well,
know.
as,
And you only
as
have to do it
somebody,
for, like,
Well,
2
you don't
seconds.
use Y. You don't use
Or
Y.
you use
just
X,
use
whatever.
now I'm starting to
Either
understand why the clip that we posted the other day got posted. So the other thing as well, and this is as
I just think
someone
it'd be
who
fun.
runs. Yeah, as someone who runs games two-handed on keyboard, it can be really tiring to hold down a. So for one, it reduces your range of motion with your other fingers
true.
on your right hand to try to hit some of those other buttons. As well as it can be a lot more tiring because like your wrist is in a less advantageous position. If that makes sense. In some ways, the controller can be more ergonomic for holding. It's a lot more ergonomic to hold down a trigger and then use your thumb because your hand is a little more at rest.
Yeah, and also
It depends on the game though.
There's also a thing where like I literally use triggers for my GameCube controller, so like my R button's a button instead of a spring for Scoob specifically because like hand pain.
I never got hand pain from frights though, so
That's
I never
insane.
really even did that spring stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean if you get used to it, you won't have hand pain. You just have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like triggers because it just made it easier to hold, because sometimes I would accidentally let go of it because I wasn't pushing the spring down hard enough,
that's
and
fair.
instead it's just a button and I'm like hard pressed. And then
Yeah, I actually found it.
yeah.
Oh, so I was learning like the first few rooms of Resident Evil 4 the other day, and like I started learning it on keyboard, and then I found it actually easier to move on controller. So I was like, maybe I'll learn the game on this, just because like Jack said, you don't have the problem of one hand holding like W the entire time, and then having to navigate around other shit that you're gonna press, and then all that other crap. So I'm like, either I do that or I have to map stuff to like the numpad and then use my mouse that has fucking 12 buttons on the side. So
Do you use those buttons?
No.
mostly no. I usually just use so if I'm running Vanquish though, I use at least 3 of them. So
Okay.
sheesh.
yeah.
I've never
I'm just
understood
curious.
those mice with all like the 40 buttons on the left thumb side.
Basically, if
That's
you play
just-
MMOs, really good. If you do anything else with
Yeah.
your life, really bad.
So it's good too
people
with
use it for
Vanquish. It's good too with Vanquish because like I can do like weapon swap cancels and reload cancels and shit easier. So that is good, but that's really about all I use it for, because then it saves me from having to go like this while I'm like doing a movement thing and just hitting like the button above, like the 1 or the 2 button above me. So there's always that.
The world of controllers is just so,
Yeah.
it's
All
sort
right,
of
I
interesting.
need everyone's controller opinion. What's as far as older consoles go? What's the all-time goat for you?
The all-time GOAT.
For me, it's probably the PS2 controller, but I'm heavily biased.
So I would say the DS4 if it had a USB port, but currently
The what?
the
PS4
DualShock
controller.
4, the PS4 controller.
Oh, why did you say
but-
DS4? What?
Dude, I was thinking
The
of DS.
dual-
I was like, what?
The DualShock 4.
Yeah,
which
I
is
get
the
it.
name of the
Just call
controller.
it the PlayStation 4 controller. That's what everyone knows it as. This guy.
Wow, he got dude.
Yo, he's
Cosmic,
posing
are
like
you
the
okay?
Nate shot photo that I have on my computer. Where he's-
Posing like I'm in Persona 3. Persona.
yeah.
So boom. So my GOAT PMC would have called it the DS4, which is what I called it when he interviewed me. So
like,
anyway,
does the PS4 count as an old console now? Like, really?
oh,
I don't
are
think
we
it
going
counts.
with old consoles?
I feel like the
or-
PS4 or Xbox One can't count.
That's
It's
fair.
too soon.
Okay.
They're like, yeah.
Okay. So
Because the PS3
I'm gonna go
and
with
before,
either.
like, kind of had, you're up in the air.
I'm gonna go with either PS2 or PS3, but maybe PS2, just because mini USB is garbage. So there's that.
True.
But
and micro
but I don't,
USB is so much better.
Oh no, it sucks. Which is why I'm saying the PS4 controller, if it had a USB-C port, it would be goated. But it has a
that's true.
micro USB, and it's whoever
Did you
whoever
just pull
designed
out
that controller.
a NES controller, dude.
Whoever designed the fucking DS4 just failed draft and design. Like, it's garbage. Like,
Really? I thought a lot of people liked the PS4
well,
controller.
I like the problem is that like, okay, hold on.
I know the
fucking
problem, but the problem is that the controller got made at a weird time before USB-C was like widely a thing.
Yeah.
That was before it was standardized. So you got micro USB, and so you have to connect the micro USB in like a specific way, and then also it just breaks very, very easily because it's so fucking flimsy.
So it fucking this shit right here lasts like a month or two. Okay, if there's a fucking cord in there, because it just fucking hangs down because there's nothing to support this shit except like, I don't know. There's as much fucking plastic here as the gum line of someone who's named Cletus. Like, there's just nothing here, dude, like at all to
That
support
felt
it.
really southern
Like,
phobic. I don't know how else to put it other than that.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
well,
like
no,
I
there-
know a
'cause-
dude named Cletus that is extremely racist and homophobic. I don't know what you-
it has an insane gum line.
Yeah, I mean, I've never looked at his gum line. I just, he was at my old job. It was not great.
Ah.
Yeah,
back in non.
yeah,
well, okay, I'll do take 2 then. It's fine.
yeah. I would say, go ahead, Cole. Just pull out your fucking NES controller.
There's nothing
Oh.
here, dude, to support it. Just nothing.
Nothing.
But see, here's the thing: is that I feel like I'm stuck between two, and one of them is the Super Nintendo controller. I think this shit feels so good with its games. It doesn't have a shitty D-pad where like you press like the corner of it and then you can there's some D-pads where you can just press like one side and then it's like you can kind of go all the way around the world with it and it sucks. But these, it's like the buttons feel so nice. Everything's exactly where you want it. And it's just a simple, comfortable design. But then the other controller I feel like that would be great is the Wii controller, which is really weird to say, but it's like, no. That shit was super comfortable to hold in your hands. No. That was like, you could do it far apart to where you could just like chill. You don't have to have your hands together. And it's like, it has other, you could put other accessories with it, which most of them are gimmicky bullshit, but it's like, you have the Wii wheel, you have the nunchuck, you know.
It's crazy.
I'll give you the Wii wheel, but
it's crazy how I said something accidentally offensive, but he's more wrong than me.
Like, this shit feels great, dude.
I just want to say,
this shit is so smart.
Have you ever
put
played
a bunch of bullshit on this, but they kept it?
Have you ever played a game on the Wii where it requires you to aim the controller at the track it a lot? No, like that's like the whole. Island. Okay, now I beg you to play Rodea the Sky Nigga. And then play that game for an hour and tell me that your hands are not going to fucking die immediately.
I don't even know what that game is, but
it's Rodea the Sky Soldier.
But, okay, so one game sucks. That doesn't mean the controller sucks.
No,
like, what?
The controller is the problem. The controller is literally the reason I cannot play Rodea the Sky Soldier.
You just do forearm curls. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
my hands are too big for the fucking controller, bro. What do you want me to say?
This is too big
cramp
for your hand?
Yes.
It's also just a shitty layout because, like, here's the thing.
No, this layout's genius.
No. Hold on. Let a man who knows what he knows talk about this shit, okay?
Yeah.
So, a lot of games on the Wii use the D-pad to control the camera. Do you know how fucking annoying it is to try to do anything with the camera and your primary button for doing shit, the A button, is like 30 meters on the ground?
Okay,
like, it's impossible, bro.
Listen,
it's awful.
But who the fuck?
Look at these dog shit plus and minus buttons. Oh, you want to do something else? Oh, the 1 and 2 buttons are all the way in the South fucking Pole, okay? This controller is dog shit.
It's not that bad of a. It's not that bad of a.
Slightly better. It is slightly better if you have a nunchuck. Yet, you also have the Wii Classic controller, which is just better than
that's just garbage.
Everything else.
Do I have that?
So it's like, why are you even bothering with this? I'm sorry, Cole. You're fucking
Wii Classic
stupid.
Controller.
This thing sucks.
Well, first of all, I want to point out the thing that I just think is the problem is I'm basing this completely off of the controller's design. It's not the fault of the controller's design if they assign this as the camera. Like, what the fuck?
Where else are they supposed to put it?
They assign the D-pad as the camera. I don't fucking know. I'm not a game designer, but it's like this shit is great for menuing and other shit like that.
There's no buttons on the other half.
In Mario Kart, you could use this shit to like wheelie and stuff like that. They have the C button and the Z button, and sometimes it's like a camera reset or like it serves as a special function. Yeah, you have a camera reset, and you have the B button on the back that's like the trigger. Like,
this is like imagine having like if you worst takes Cole's ever had.
If you look, dude, when you think about like what this console did in terms of like trying to grow game immersion,
that doesn't
mean
that the controller's good.
Controls.
That's about the console. I
think it's good. Well, we were talking about controllers. What are you talking about?
Yes, we are.
The console would not be nearly as good if this controller design was not solid. And it is pretty solid. Now, granted, it's not like
solid in the sense that you could put a dent in Cosmic's bowling ball skull. With
Damn, why are you kind of straight?
You throw into this.
I deserve it.
I had to say
word. Well, this guy did not speak a syllable.
No, I deserve it for accidentally being racist earlier, so it's fine. True. You know.
The other thing I will say as well with holding this controller, for most people's thumbs, it is impossible for you to get your thumb like parallel, like along the same line. You're almost always coming in on it at an angle. And so it can be really tricky to be precise with this thing as someone who has run games with a Wii remote.
Man, remember in Wii Sports when you had to hold down and A at the same time? Like, okay, what? When it that's such like
you remember Wii Sports,
when does that
the
even
game
happen?
where you fucking jerked yourself off to play tennis? Yeah, I do remember that game.
Yippee!
Dude, it's not a jerking off motion. It's more like a sword fight motion, you know?
I'm just
Same
saying that.
difference, okay? I'm Ace. I don't
Docking
know
with
the
the
difference.
boys.
Honestly,
Don't
bro.
say that!
Here's the thing, Cole, is that
Don't
if you
say
play a
that.
game where like you have to point the thing at the
I
fucking
did with
IR
the Dog
receiver
Island.
to move, and you have to move at more than 2 fucking miles per hour, like you do in the fucking Dog Island, and you have to
Sometimes
actually
you move kinda
click
fast,
buttons and shit. Like in Rodeo, you have to like do a B shake like A thing, right? That nukes your fucking hands because you're doing this. You're basically doing this the whole fucking time, right? And you're
Yeah, you have to
I
hold
like
it
how
in
your
a tight
defense is
grip.
one game.
it's trash. That's
Like
all you
one
need.
My favorite game of all time has a Wii port, and it sucks to run sometimes because I have to use this goddamn Wii remote.
I mean, again, it's not that it's like, okay, so these guys who made video games weren't thinking about the Wii when they made it. Like,
the
what?
whole point of what you're saying is that it's so innovative because you point the thing at the thing and then yippee. But what I'm saying is when you're actually
You are
pointing the
way
thing at the
simplifying
thing,
my
it
opinion.
is horrendous. It's terrible.
It's not.
I threw out my.
If you're doing anything other
shit-
than shaking it, if you're just shaking it and you're not aiming the thing at the thing for like ever, like constantly, then yeah, it's fine because you don't need to actually aim it, so
Oh,
you
you
can
know
have
what?
it in a
I-
comfortable position in your
I
hand.
won't even give him that. I won't even give him that, Nestani. I
Okay, don't give him that, all right.
I strained my shoulder playing a Wii game in the past.
Well,
The entire game was based around the motion controls.
I'm trying not to say.
I mean,
Okay.
I think maybe you're like a little bit of a bitch. I don't know. I feel like that. That has happened to me.
I was also a fucking
see these
student
big
athlete.
these big strong shoulders. You know, like I don't really gotta. You know.
Dude, this is when I was like peak swim season, bro. Like you're being like Cole right now. You're just being incorrect. Like it's not
Cosmic's
even
doing
like you're
laundry
making me
right now.
upset.
He's
No,
he's doing
he's
push-ups.
doing his
Push-ups,
he's
what?
doing-
Giga Chad, what? Dude, shit, man.
Yo,
I had
all
to shake
right,
it up a
well, I'm
little
in on
bit.
it too. Okay.
All right, we're doing it. Yeah.
How many are we going for? How many are we going for? Just okay. I guess I'll just do like 10.
Are you enjoying the silence, audio listeners?
I can't stop laughing, so
All right, I just did
that
10.
whole bit's over. I got like halfway through and then I started laughing too hard. So I couldn't even-
Everyone, get up, do squats, but point your ass to the camera.
Nah, dude, I
leg
have
raises, but don't.
I've
wear
got the
any
week
socks or
off from
shoes.
squats, bro. I was telling Cosmic this earlier. I did front squats, like 4 sets of 10 for 95, which is a lot for me, and my quads feel like jello, so I will pass on the squats. It is just no, thank you.
This is such a
man,
dog
honestly,
shit
that
opinion
was
from
brutal.
Cole. I'm just
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna
I
also
really
follow it up
don't-
with like almost an equally dog shit opinion. I'm gonna say the GameCube controller.
That's pretty dog shit.
Even though
Yeah.
that shit's kind of ass, but I'm just so used to it that like
I think
It
it's
doesn't
just
really
such an
bother
overhyped controller.
It is definitely overhyped. I would
for
agree with you
sure.
on that.
It just feels the best in my hand specifically out
Yeah.
of all of them. Like besides maybe the PS2 controller. PS2 controller.
Yeah, the PS2 controller, I really.
It's either
I
that or the
think-
GameCube for me. I feel like the rest, like the N64 controller, might be the most dog shit thing I've ever felt in my life.
Oh, it's awful. It's the worst.
That's why
Yeah,
it's on the
every
ground back
controller
there.
that Nintendo made has been bad, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, Wii Classic
Actually,
controller
the
is
Switch
pretty
Pro
good.
controller is
Well, the
pretty good.
pros and the
Yeah,
pros
Switch
and the
Pro
classics,
Pro's
yeah,
awesome.
those are fine.
The Switch
you
Pro
know,
controller is
the
tight.
ones that don't come with the console
What is the
originally,
Wii
those
Classic
are
controller? I don't think I've ever seen
those are
before.
good.
Dude, I have it.
It's
somewhere.
kind of like the Wii U Pro
it's right
controller,
here.
but yeah,
Here, so it has a nunchuck fucking thing, and then
I don't even need to Google images.
the letters on it are in lowercase, which is really funny.
Oh, that looks decent.
and then yeah, there it is. This is what it looks like. So you have like your 4 buttons, and then it's kind of like a DualShock where it's got the
yeah.
thing-
They want to
the
be the
joysticks on
PS2
the
remote
bottom.
so bad.
They do. But it's still pretty like it's good. It's got the nunchuck sticks, which
Yeah, a
are
lot of people
basically
use it for Mario Kart Wii and stuff, and probably other Wii games that are competitive. But
I've never seen that controller in my
yeah.
life, by the way. This is a new one for me.
I saw it at
they
a
weren't
local game
the
store.
most common thing ever. So I think the other thing that influences and this might
Actually,
be
the
just because
OG
I grew up
Xbox
on,
controller is my favorite controller.
you're just not speaking words.
Oh my god, I got one of those.
We got the
Slim right
The
here, the OG. I think the Xbox 360 controller is pretty good as well.
Yeah, 360 is
that's
pretty
like-
soft.
Yeah, I think
will
that's
s-
actually going to probably be most people's opinions on that,
The-
honestly.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
360.
The OG Xbox controller is so bad that I have an adapter so I can use
It's
an
bad.
actual like recent Xbox
hey.
controller.
I have
on
the
it.
same one, yeah.
Oh, you
My
have the
favorite
Brooks adapter.
I have the Brooks adapter. My favorite thing about this controller is that when I got set my Xbox, the controller was like this, just kind of just stuck down, dude. And
Those controllers,
Nice.
the OG
And I'm like, oh,
especially
sick,
like
dude.
they have no durability. Like they would
Yeah.
fail the durability test. They would
Yeah.
scratch at a level 1.
What's fucking
it's
crazy too
Peeper
is like
grooves at level
bad.
0.
how fucking raised these shits are. You're fucking just dying every time you push your finger into this shit.
Yeah.
Dude, the sticks are made of like like the most malleable rubber. It might as well be
Yeah.
clay.
You know, I will
it's
say
just
though,
so
for
bad.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, it's a great controller for that because you're not doing anything in the game. Because it's an auto battle
you're
type game. Because you
I
just
was
kind of
gonna
walk
say,
around
yeah,
and
it's
you
pretty-
click a
pretty
button.
So
auto
that, I mean, that just
battle.
means the controller's good, you know?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, for sure. That's why I said it was good
Yeah.
because that's the only game I've played on the OG Xbox is KOTOR 1 and 2. Because why would I need to play anything else on that shitty ass console?
On OG Xbox, there's a few exclusives that are pretty good, but most of
Shitty
them
ass
have
console.
been. I mean, it ain't great, but there's some good ones on there. If it weren't for Halo, though, it probably would have gone the way
Dead
of the
on arrival,
Dreamcast.
bro.
Do any of you guys
Yeah.
own a Genesis?
I don't actually.
I don't. I've used a Genesis
I've
controller
never played
before.
on a Genesis.
I've owned a Genocide before, but not a Genesis.
C button.
I feel like the people who like stuff on Genesis are really all about the Genesis, and it's like
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah,
You know,
they're Genesis.
hold on. I need to show you all this. I don't know if you all have ever seen the fucking.
I think this is
Dreamcast
the episode
controller.
that we have
Look at this
all
shit.
gotten up the most.
Look at
in.
this dog.
Yeah, what is the Dreamcast controller like?
Terrible.
Dreamcast controller
bad.
is terrible as well.
Really? I mean,
look how narrow my hands are together to try to hold
yeah.
this thing. It's like
a- it's-
bad.
It's like when you hold the Wii remote and your hands are
axle.
so narrow together because you're pinching. Anyway,
Yeah. Triggers are bad. The buttons are
no,
a little squishy.
that's probably the
stick
worst
is-
controller ever. I would say.
Yeah. The worst.
Really?
Like,
Dreamcast probably, yeah. I
It's
would
up
have to
there.
say that. Yeah.
I think the OG Xbox is also
It's
a
up
strong contender
Yeah,
for
that's
that
strong
title.
contender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least
I
like
have
that's
never
like
used
big
this
enough
thing
that
in
like
my
it
life.
fits in my hands, kind of. You know what I mean? Like
Kinda.
that.
Yeah, I could see it.
The
yeah.
OG Dreamcast is just like, oh my god! Like I like when I played Puppies, like 102 Dalmatians or 101 Dalmatians. I don't know what the game's called. I'll be real, but I bought a
102.
third-party one that was basically shaped like an Xbox 360 controller because
Yeah, off,
Password
like,
was like,
Passeray's
"Yo, you should play."
recommendation.
Yeah, because Password showed me because she had one at GDQ. She was like, "You should if you play this game, you should get this controller." I was like, "I'm gonna get this controller."
I'm gonna get this controller. Then. Yeah.
What controller is
And she was absolutely right.
it? Which controller is it?
It's like a
saying?
third-party Dreamcast controller. I would get it, but it's in my like dresser back there, kind of buried, and I don't want to pull it out.
Yeah, no worries.
But
Yeah.
it's basically just shaped like a 360 controller. But it's
Oh, sick,
Dreamcast
yeah.
buttons. Yeah, it's actually a
kinda-
really cool controller.
On kind of a side note, back to the Wii Remote discussion, I figured out recently that no, this is not criticizing Cole's dog shit opinion.
Oh,
but this
yet.
is another something I
Audio listeners,
discovered.
Cole kissed his penis.
That's crazy.
What? That is a lie.
Is that what
That is a
happens when you're
big
that much
old
more famous
lie.
than all the rest of us? Is you
Yes.
just start kissing your own cock? That's
Yeah,
crazy,
That's what it is. That's what YouTube fame does to you.
bro.
Bruh.
I'm just imagining like, does every famous YouTuber just dry fire? Like that's crazy. It's just
Insane
fucking tumbleweeds at the tumbleweeds at the top of the YouTube leaderboards. That's crazy.
Hey, you know.
But anywho, I made an interesting discovery when swapping out some PlayStation 2 sticks. You can put PS2 sticks in
in the
Wii
nunchuck.
nunchucks
Oh yeah, I remember you
and
saying
Wii
that.
controllers. Yeah, so
Oh, that's
it's
tight.
actually not that. Yeah, it's it's not. It feels kind of like normal, but it's like
Oh, I didn't mean like that's tight, like literally tight. I meant like that's cool.
Okay. Like cool.
It's
really
like cool. It's
Yeah,
like wicked. Cool.
Wicked.
In terms of like sticks, though, I don't think you can really argue. Like, I think PlayStation line of controller sticks, and then I really like actually Wii nunchuck sticks, and by extension, classic controller sticks are really nice if I get to like mix and match and choose and shit. But yeah, I try to put one in a nunchuck, and there's a little bit of friction between like the inside of the casing and like the round part of the dome of the controller stick. But like other than that, it just feels pretty normal.
The more you know.
I think my favorite sticks are the N64 sticks. I think those are really good.
I think you're lying. I think you might be.
I think out of the OG sticks, I would actually say I like the GameCube stick the best. I really like just the notches, like how they feel.
Yeah.
I just like how that stick feels.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely my favorite part of the GameCube remote.
Yeah.
However,
I burn through those sticks so fast though.
Yeah, every
Like,
6 months you got to get another.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I've been on this nunchuck stick, like, because you can just put nunchuck sticks in GameCube controllers because they're basically the same.
Yeah.
So like I've been rocking that on my GameCube controller for a while now, even though it looks like dog shit, and it feels really good. And it doesn't, because it's just like the one ring around the outside instead of the multiple rings. Like it hasn't been wearing as fast.
Yeah.
I find, but I don't know if that's just like a difference of like a.
I mean, for me, it's the potentiometers that wear for me because I'm smacking the fuck out of my stick box.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, if I like decided to spend like $300 on like a fob just to get the Hall effects like sensors, my life would be a lot better because then I could just use that shit for like ever. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna do that because why the fuck would I spend $300 on a fucking game controller? Suck my dick.
True.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I think the Joy-Con sticks are probably my favorite.
Joy-Cons? What are the Joy-Cons?
Yeah, for the Switch controller.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good meme too. Yeah, that's I like the N64 sticks as well. They're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say though, like Joy-Cons might be the most disappointing controller for me because it's like the potential is so great for these things, but they fall so flat. It could have been so good.
It's like
when the
everything
Switch
Nintendo
2 never
does.
comes
It
out, I
could have
really
been
hope
so
they
good.
improve it.
That's like
Like,
Nintendo's
oh my
motto,
God,
bro.
dude.
Nintendo's motto is this could have been so good, and then we intentionally made it not good.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda.
Besides the games are gas, but like any hardware they've ever made, it's just like, hey, you want this piece of hardware that's 8 years old at the time of launch, and you're like, not really.
No,
and they're like,
I'm
we'll
good.
take it anyway because we're gonna give you Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, and then you're like, well, shit, I guess I'm gonna buy it. Like, fuck, what am I gonna do?
Well, shit. Yeah.
They're gonna make some of the best games of all time, and then you're like, I guess I'm buying this fucking like this console that's less powerful than my fucking iPhone. You know what I mean? And it's just like,
I get really frustrated with it. Like, not only do the Switch Joy-Con sticks have this problem, but also with like modern Xbox, like mostly first party. I find it's like the stick box, like stick drift is a big problem, and like quality control is like so not great, and it's really kind of obnoxious. And like I've already been through a set of Joy-Cons because like they were just so irreparably fucked. Like I tried to fix them, and it was just Joker.
Can't you like mail them to Nintendo and they'll fix it for free?
You can, yes. I don't know if they're still doing that, but you definitely could for like a period of time.
Yeah, you could, but there were
because they know that they're shit. But then you just have to not play your fucking shit for like however long.
And plus
they
the
take.
faceplates were also fucked up. The button pads were fucked. It was just everything was fucked up. So it was just like.
Honestly, at this point, I only use Nintendo Online just to listen to Nintendo music at this point. Like, I don't play video games anymore unless it's for a video.
That's really sad.
I've said this a million times, but yeah, man.
I mean, I also don't
just
play
can't.
video games.
I do. I feel like Cosmic and I are the ones who still.
Yeah, you guys are
more so about
gamers.
it. We're gamers.
Yeah, I'm just really bad about like having chill time or whatever.
I thought you were gonna say having children, and I'm like, damn.
No, I've never tried.
He has erectile dysfunction.
Never
everyone.
tried, he says.
Yeah, I've never tried.
Never
Yeah.
had the opportunity.
Damn.
That may or may not play a part, but you know, I do.
Yeah.
We know the Popeyes story, man. Everybody.
That's true. Yeah, that's how we
Pepperidge
know.
Farm remembers Popeyes.
Yeah, no,
Can I
just-
wait? Can I
go
ask
ahead.
you guys? I'm sorry. Well, this is gonna like completely kind of change topics.
That's fine.
It's
I
gonna
was
be a
just-
serious question.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Okay. All right.
I wasn't really going to say
So-
anything. I was just going to keep it going because I recognized a lapse in conversation. Yeah.
Right. All right. So this is a legitimate serious question. There was this because I graduated.
All right, guys,
college
that's the
in
end of the
spring.
podcast.
All right. Damn, we reached time. But no, dude. So there was
So
this
anyway,
girl that I liked and I really started to like her in the spring. But that's when we graduated. And so I was like, you know, I'm just not even going to share feelings or do anything like that because, you know, it's just, there's just no way it can work out. I'm going to be moving away and like all this other stuff. And she's going on some trip like around the world or whatever. But now, because I have her number, like, or whatever, but I've thought about like, maybe I should just like say hello again and just like chat or see, because I'll be back up at my college in a few months from now.
At your crib.
Like, do you guys think that is even something worth pursuing or not really?
Why?
Or is that
Why
kind of a
would it
loaded
be?
question?
Let me reverse it. Why would it not be?
I don't know. It's because I don't know, maybe waste time or
Do you miss her?
it would just be
Okay,
like
well,
kinda
think about
weird
the
and awkward,
opportunity
because I haven't
cost,
talked to her
like-
since graduation.
Because it's like
Yeah.
one text or one phone call takes you 2 seconds. What are you going to use that 2 seconds doing? Playing the Dog Island? With your
Jerking
stupid
off?
earphone?
Like, what do you know?
I'm probably
Jerking off while
before
playing the dog.
Island.
At the same
you get all
time.
I don't know if a single
Jerking
soul
off
has
with
done
the
that
Dog
before.
Island in the background is crazy.
You
You
get
were
all
making
that
this
done.
joke earlier, like before the podcast. Like, you think anyone like puts this on in the background while they fuck? Now I'm just
Comment, like, and
imagining
subscribe if
that
you're
with the
jerking off
dog.
right now.
Comment down below, guys.
Comment down
There's
below.
just letters missing in every other word.
I gotta say, man, if you can get all that done in 2 seconds, it's no wonder that you haven't been able to have children yet. So,
Damn.
but that being said,
Damn.
Wow.
that
Hey
being
man, I'm a
said,
speedrunner. What do you expect?
Womp womp.
Such a funny joke. We've never heard that one.
Anyway, go on.
So, my question is, do you miss her? No, it's a serious question.
I mean, yeah.
Everything reminds me of her.
So, before
I
these
do
two
miss her.
jokers fucking above me in the format while they're laughing, it's a serious question. Like, if you miss her, then yeah, sure, go ahead and message her.
Huh.
You know,
Okay. Yeah.
because I mean,
My thing is, like, if
Again,
you're curious
she's
and
a
you
great
like her,
friend.
then
She's a
yeah,
great person.
just reach out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Could
gonna
be
matter.
getting railed right now.
Jesus Christ.
Right. Didn't want that in my
I
mind.
would just say, yeah, just like message her, be like, yo, I'm coming back on like this date. You want to like, hang out?
You
or
wanna
whatever the fuck?
fuck? No, I'm just kidding.
just be like, yo, you want to hang out, catch up, whatever, and then you can feel it out from there. You can tell if she's interested, blah 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 blah. And it takes like 2 seconds
Yeah,
to do so.
yeah.
You already have rapport with her, so it's actually like kind of like even easier to do
Yeah.
so. It's not like
you don't have to sit through a lot of dry ass conversation. Like, hi, how are you?
Yeah,
What do
and you're
you
also
like
not
to
like
do?
shooting
Right,
dry
you're like
either,
SpongeBob when he
you know?
goes around.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm normal.
Also, because
No,
like
yeah.
because you have rapport, it's like easier to even like get her to say yes at all. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
because you could just be like, hey, like friend thing, like meet up, whatever, and then you can kind of just you could poke around in that conversation and see if like she's interested at all. And then if she's not,
Yeah,
then
that's
you're
right.
like, and then if she is, then you're like, yippee, Sorry, that was a bad yippee.
That's what I'll do. We're in the middle
That's
of a
what you do.
restaurant. I'll be like, yippee! Throw my hands up in the air.
That would be dope. That would be funny.
I would respect the hustle.
I would fuck you, is what Jax was gonna say.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Just make sure you avoid the phrase, so I have a podcast, so that you won't be
hell no.
listening to
Hell no.
this episode. Do I have a
Us, yeah.
You know,
podcast?
like those like
These are your
YouTube,
friends?
TikTok, YouTube. You know those like YouTube shorts or TikToks of like the guy who's like the red flags or green flags. He's just running across the field with a red flag. That's what happens if you mention you're on a podcast.
That's
Like,
that's actually just our podcast. We're actually just the Red Flag podcast. That's definitely
Yeah.
a
The red
podcast.
flag.
That's the new name.
No,
The red flag.
there's definitely a Red Flag podcast. I'm looking at
Assassin's Creed Red Flag.
The,
I
the
think it's
red
called
flag
Black
quota.
I think it's called Black Flag, and it's actually on my wall. Oh wait, I can just do this. Boom. There's a Black Flag right there. Poster. Sheesh.
Cool.
Wow.
Anyway,
I love Assassin's Creed. Everyone. Too bad all the speedruns are.
you know what you should do, Cole? You should tell. You should tell her the
say
Wii
they're
remote
mad
is your
long,
favorite
right?
controller. That's what you should do.
She
See
would
how-
honestly, she'd probably marry me on the spot if I said that. I'm gonna be
I
honest.
don't know about
The
that.
Red Flags
Yeah.
podcast, a comedy podcast about Formula One for friends who live for the drama. Has
Oh,
40,000
it's
subscribers.
F1.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
clearly we're doing something
Hey,
wrong.
you guys
man,
wanna do a collab?
honestly.
Yeah, what we're doing wrong is that we have me on the fucking podcast. Like that's.
Why is that a problem?
You're the one who makes the podcast happen. What are you
Yeah,
talking
I was gonna
about?
You
say
are
like
literally like the producer. as
without
well.
the show does not happen. So this is what happens if Nestani's not on the podcast. Is Jaxler, Coley, and I forgot your name for a moment. I'm sorry. Coley and I.
Damn.
We all get together.
Motherfucker that likes the Wii remote. What
Oh,
the
you know,
fuck
we've
is
been
this?
doing
How
this
long
for
have we been doing this for? And you're like, I
25
forgot?
weeks straight.
That
And
fucking
this
like
motherfucker
Beatles
doesn't even know
guy.
his name. That's crazy.
This fucking Beatles guy.
the-
Like what the fuck does this guy
Beatles
know?
dude.
You know.
The third white guy
Pink
on this
Floyd guy.
podcast. So the
The only
three white guys.
heterosexual straight male on the podcast. The only cis white male on the podcast.
That's true, yeah. So
can I say?
we all sit down and then we record it and we just go, well, that was a decent episode. So who's going to edit it?
It would probably just be Cole. Just to be completely
Probably,
real.
yeah.
He would probably just be the one that
But-
does it.
Yeah, and then it would never get done.
Damn. What? You don't know. We literally do thumbnails like all the
Take
time.
a long time for
You do
videos,
be
but,
doing
like,
the thumbnails. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But the audio would be
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing with audio.
To be fair, the
I
last
just see
two
numbers
episodes,
and
I have
green
not
stuff.
actually been doing the audio very well because I've like edited it in like 2 hours. So I've just left in all of Jax's. Like all that I've left in. Because sometimes I just can't be fucked to cut it out because Jax just he loves pounding his fucking desk. It's crazy. He's got his feet on the ground tapping away like a fucking tap dancer. He's fucking typing away. He's playing Hearthstone, just slamming the buttons.
Okay, that I agree with.
It's a good time.
The
Yeah,
rest of that shit's fucked up.
got the
So-
whole drum kit at your desk.
I was looking at. Dude, I was looking at the Assassin's Creed.
Can we go
3.
back to making fun of Cole's dog shit we wrote opinion? I like the way
We
we're
already got that out, you know.
I was.
That
I
is
was
a cool
looking
Wii
at
remote though, like the solid blue.
That is a
It's
cool
good
blue.
color.
Yeah, good blue. So
Yeah,
I'm
fuck
looking
the,
at
I took the safety off this motherfucker. You think you're gonna hold me down? Get out of here. Anyway,
I was looking at the
Okay.
Assassin's Creed runs, and apparently
They're
the
literally
India
just Let's
one is
Plays,
like an
bro.
hour.
Yeah.
Well, there's one that's like an hour, right? That seems. Is that actually? That's probably actually like got some stuff to it, right?
I mean, I don't know. I've only looked at the AC2 and the AC Brotherhood runs, which are just Let's Plays.
Okay.
And then
I also
gave
saw
up.
the Assassin's Creed 3 remastered, and then there's a category called Liberation Any Percent, and I swear to God, for a second I thought it said Libertarian Any Percent, and I was like, interesting. I'm like, oh, so this is the one where they get a lot of weed, but they still don't care about the poor people. Interesting. All right. So
It's never been about the poor people,
I
unfortunately.
hate to see it.
You hate
it's
to
always
see
been
it.
about the weed.
What is this?
Yeah.
Oh, there's not even one for the DLC on this either.
Me personally, I've never looked at a poor person in my life. Never even perceived them. They're fucking beneath me.
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
See, I'm just cracking a joke, and this guy just takes it, just cranks it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I mean, if I'm not doing it, who's gonna do it? You know, this is
fair.
why I said in your chat before, I'm like, you can watch my stream for 3 minutes and find something to cancel me about. you don't even
That's true,
even
yeah.
dig far. I'm terrible.
yeah,
God damn.
I'm a.
Well, that's
What was it? Because what was it that happened? because you were saying like, oh yeah, anybody
I
in
don't know
Cosmic's
what I
chat want to come on the podcast. Suddenly we have a slot open.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because like Nestani like temporarily fired me.
I did.
And then Ame was like, I can come on and get y'all canceled.
and then I sent them the Terpu tweet, the infamous Terpu tweet. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I will not be saying it out loud. Dude, I was like halfway through typing the message in Cosmic's Twitch chat, and I was like,
Maybe I should not do this.
Maybe you should.
Let me not do this.
I pressed Curdle A and deleted that shit, and I was like, oh, let me just go upload this on MGurt.
Good old Curdle A, man.
Hey, sometimes you gotta get
I
a
thought it's
Curdle
control.
A. No, it's Curdle A and Curdle C and Curdle V. That's what real niggas call it.
Well, that explains why I don't call it that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same.
Cock.
You know. I'm not allowed to say.
Are we done?
Anyways, fuck the Wii remote.
I just wanted to see how long it would take for one of you to pivot. You know, I'm just testing
I
you
was
all,
like, what
honestly.
are we doing?
Oh, actually, so I mean,
It was such
the
an
thing
awkward
was,
long pause.
I mean, I can talk about how I got clicker trained the other day.
Huh?
you got what?
Clicker trained. So I had to do my ADHD testing the other day, and they have you do this testing thing on a computer where you click a button if you see a specific symbol, and then you don't click it if you see the other symbol. And it's like testing to see if you're actually ADHD or not, supposedly. I don't know. So I got clicker trained. Yeah, that was on Monday.
Huh.
It sounds funnier when I say I was clicker trained, and now there's going to be furries in our comments who are like, you shouldn't say that.
I don't even know what that means. I'll be so real.
Yeah, I don't.
It's definitely a fetish thing. Yeah.
It's a fetish thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
What the fuck is
Don't
a
worry,
clicker?
you're sleep.
Oh.
Do you know what a furry is?
I mean, barely. Yeah, I know they like animals.
Barely.
Barely. Well, some of them do cosplay as bears, I imagine. Yes, but
What the fuck is a clicker? The only thing I know a clicker from is like from like I think The Last of Us or like
It's
like one of the monsters.
It's for training dogs.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like you use a clicker and then you give them a treat, and so you use the clicker
Yeah, it's
to train
supposed
them
to
to do
be.
shit.
It's like it's a Pavlovian response. So,
Yeah.
That
like, you ever
reminds
heard
me
of
of
So now think
Pavlov's
about that
experiment
with
with dogs
furries.
and bells. Yeah.
that reminds me of the
I don't
the
think I
statement
care
where
enough to
somebody
like
was
understand. I think I'm just gonna give up.
The
That's
more
fair.
you try to
in
understand,
a
the
theoretical
more it will hurt you.
chiropractic sense, essentially what it is that quantum mechanically and diachromatically.
So, Cosmic, what were you gonna say? I'd rather listen to you speak than this. Fucking
Well,
guy.
I was gonna say
This guy's done
that,
enough with his fucking Wii remote. He probably
So
put the
the
Wii
thing
remote in his
about-
ass.
wow.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I was gonna
People always
say. And turns on like and turns on vibrator.
Do people really just not like this controller?
Bro does gyro controls with his butt cheek. That's crazy.
Well, I was gonna say that's the real
That's
Ring
the
Fit
first time that
Adventure,
sensence has been
but-
said.
Nah,
Definitely
the
not.
furries have
No,
yeah, the
definitely
furries
not,
have
no.
probably said it. Speaking of the
Probably, yeah.
furries,
Cosmic, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say people talk about Pavlov's dogs and they were conditioned by the bell or whatever. There's another phrase that's like parallel to that or opposite of that says, "Do you think that whenever Pavlov heard a bell, he thought about his dogs?"
That is an interesting question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Pavlov?
He's a psychologist
Yeah.
that basically was one of the first to
research,
test on research on classical conditioning. So
which is how you can manipulate people to.
Oh, I love manipulating people.
have certain responses.
Wait, Nestani, let me give you an example
different
here.
conditions,
When you
yeah.
see the Krispy Kreme logo, what do you immediately do when you see that Krispy Kreme logo?
I probably go get Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Well, like,
basically,
if,
what
like,
he did.
If you mean like if I see the Krispy Kreme logo like and I'm right next to the Krispy Kreme donuts shop, like, or do you mean like if I just see it like on my computer? Because those are two different answers. I don't give a fuck if I see it on my computer, but if I'm driving past it,
let me give a
it's
let
one
me
Let
here.
Cosmic explain it
Yeah,
because
let
Cosmic
Cosmic do it.
actually has a brain.
I'll still use it. Wow, I'll still use the Krispy Kreme thing
Not the first
okay.
time
to
somebody
piggyback
said
to piggyback.
I
off
do
of
love
Cole.
Krispy Kreme. I haven't had any
yeah,
sweets
so-
all month besides one crumble cookie.
So imagine if, like, whenever you touched a Krispy Kreme donut, somebody like tasered you,
That
Okay.
would be unfortunate.
Eventually-
Actually, I would lose a lot of weight. I think that would be tight. Can we get on that, guys?
Well, yeah, I think he already pieced together.
Okay, but so you know that like eventually you would not want to touch any Krispy Kreme donuts because you just get tasered. So you've been conditioned.
Well, it depends
to
on like my
not
mental
touch the
health and
Krispy
like
Kreme
how
donuts.
depressed I am. Because like if I'm really depressed, like I'll just get tased and also eat the donut at the same time, and I don't give a fuck. I'll just
Okay,
tank
in this
it.
example, you take the tase and then you drop the donut and you cannot eat it anymore.
Bro, I'll
So,
pick it up off the ground. What you think this is? It's a Krispy Kreme donut, bro.
I gotta find some other example than food.
Oh.
So
Food
yeah.
is just too powerful.
I mean, it's also just a
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme donut. Like, I'll die for that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Why are we trying to
So-
explain psychology to Nestani?
The person
Because
with no
nobody
brain
asked.
power at
That's-
all.
Yeah, and the person who's just like
The person who's
Yeah,
playing
I
Mario
don't-
64 like a fucking dumbass.
we're
Like,
trying to explain how brains and emotions work to someone who doesn't want to share his emotion.
What do you mean? I share my
Damn.
emotions all the time.
Yeah.
For example.
and
Mostly
in other
the
news,
anger.
water is dry. You know, it's like
Yeah, I tell you all everything on this podcast. Always.
It's true.
I'm an open
Yeah.
book. Not to be confused with the Open Book podcast by Quarter Jade.
yeah.
How is that podcast?
Oh yeah, that
Pretty decent.
podcast I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty good. She doesn't really like do it. She has like 4 episodes, but
Yeah, I mean, welcome
but it's
to
because it's
my
a solo
life.
podcast,
Yeah.
so it's like
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah.
Essentially.
It's
No,
hard
it's
to
a
just
great
ramble with
podcast
yourself.
because Jody's really good at talking, but like also she can't talk that much about nothing. Like Pokey did a solo podcast for like a while, and then she was like, "Nah, I can't do this," and she called up Lily, and she was like, "Yo, help!" Like, dude, that was dude. She did so many episodes, by the way. Just as a side note, Pokey did so many fucking episodes of her fucking podcast before she ran out of stuff to talk about. I'm like, you are a yapper. Like that just proved to me
animal.
that like she's a fucking animal, like of a streamer. Like I was just like, you're just a fucking beast, bro. I don't know. She was like doing like what Cosmic does on the NTSC podcast, except she didn't invite anyone and she just like talked.
I gotta get on more of those episodes, man. I thought that by giving myself like a month head start, I'd be able to get shit, but like
No, bro, you're writing
It's
4
hard- it's tough
pages
to-
per podcast. Like that's a lot.
it took a while to decide on topics, and then I wanted to get people. I wrote like 2,000 or 3,000 words an episode. Yeah, the only one I didn't do that for was the episode with Jaxler and Bobby. So
Yeah. Where
that was
I
just
talked
more.
most of the podcast.
It's much easier to do.
true.
It's much easier to do what we do, which is
That's
just talk
my bad.
about Cole, like using his Wii remote as a butt plug, than like actually saying something like of value. You know?
substantive, yeah,
Yeah, dude.
it's true.
I'm gonna make this shit brown by the end of the night.
See, the problem is the Wii remote isn't even a great apparatus for shoving up your ass in the first place. It's just like
It is square, yeah, or
it's
like
pretty
rectangular.
square.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, I
It's
guess
not
that shows you got a
sphincter
tight
shaped.
butthole then, Jax. I don't know.
Well, that is categorically true. I assume. This sucks.
I mean,
And if you have a tight butthole, comment down below, everybody.
yeah, comment, like, and subscribe if you have a tight butthole, man. Comment, like, and subscribe if you're gonna gyro control with your ass, man.
That's gonna be the end of this
We love
fucking
you
podcast.
guys.
Thank
you for watching.
Do you all have anything you want to say, like that? Anything that's happening?
Hope you had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate that, or fuck your
Oh,
family
yeah.
if they suck.
I'll probably be streaming again by the time this comes out, so keep an eye
sick.
out.
Hell yeah.
I'll probably be playing Mario because I'm almost done learning the
Hello,
run.
Mario.
So once I'm done learning the run, I'll probably play. But I make no promises, but probably by like next week, by like Monday, I'll probably be streaming. I would say I could probably commit to that. But we'll see. I said it out loud though, so now there's like a 85% chance that it doesn't happen and I don't start streaming. So maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud. But
On a side note, our legal team has informed us that we do not encourage the use of Wii remotes as anal pleasure toys. So please do not do
controllers. Don't use
that. Or
them either.
controllers. That's also true.
Okay, well, I'm gonna half the experts disagree with that one.
Yeah,
You
so
can use
Cole
it to
is
Twitter
the,
train though.
Cole is the one of the 10 scientists that didn't agree with what the other 9 scientists found.
Yeah.
He's the one scientist.
That's exactly true. Yeah.
So, I mean, on my end of things, really, I'm just going to be starting up world record attempts again for Otogi 2. Taking
Resident
like a
Evil
month break
4.
from the game. Resident Evil 4, yeah. That game's going to be a chore and a half to get ready. I probably will have to play that game casually through again and just maybe do like the speedrun buy route or something.
Yo, me and Cosmic are going to
to
start streaming on Monday, and we're just going to be duo streaming our top tiers. And we're going to do hashtag pick a top tier Monday, and we're all going to...
Pick a top tier.
Twitch so fast. I would.
It's just us in a
totally be
call,
like, let's go.
just like hating our lives. I'm just climbing off the edge of Dark World. He's like doing something bad in this game, and we're just like,
I'm failing the quick kills on Village. You know, it's cool. You know, I'm failing the quick clears on Village. Oh no, so at the very beginning of Resident Evil 4, you have to like throw a grenade through a very small window like this. I'm just gonna be doing that just over and over again, just whiffing that shit.
and I'm gonna be diving off the edge of Dark World. And
Honestly, though, the way that we sell this is we just start talking about how all the cash and sponsorships started rolling in as soon as we booted up the game, and we just make ourselves seem like how well off we are now.
guys, I suddenly make money on my Twitch channel because I started playing Mario 64. I have viewers now because I'm a top level player.
But that's really about it for me. I think I mentioned before that Abby had me on for Speedrunners and Coffee. That episode's Abby's Corner. Yeah, that episode will have been out for about a week now. I actually have the second longest episode, but technically it's the longest where she's interviewed somebody else, because I think the longest one was the one about herself. So,
and she can.
But I have the she can. I have the second longest episode. So
Because you both can yap.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah. That's really about it for me. I'll just be working on speedrun projects and just preparing for
Cole, are you
GDQ,
making a video?
really.
I am, but I don't know when that fucking thing's gonna come out anytime soon.
Do we get any leaks?
So.
This is like what like Lily does to Michael Reeves whenever he's on her stream. She's like, any leaks about the next video? Any
I'm
leaks?
gonna use a green screen. This will be the first video I use a green screen.
Holy shit! He bought a green screen for like too much money.
Just the silent.
Yeah.
You know, you could just use like a green shower curtain. Anyway, everyone, have a good day. Goodbye.
Goodbye forever,
Yeah.
as they say.
I'm turning this podcast off.